Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, continuing with Vayetzi. Let's look now at the developing home life of Yaakov. At the very end of chapter number 29, we see the tragic, heartbreaking issues concerning Leah. Leah is considered, by comparison of the relationship between Yaakov and Rachel, that she is unloved. Yah opens up her womb, and she has 4 sons, evidently in quick succession. She has Reuven, whose name means see, a son. And she says, now see, my husband will love me because I've borne him a son. She has Shimeon, to hear. She says, Yah has heard my broken heart and has given me a son. Then she has Levi, to be attached or joined to. And she says, now my husband will be attached to me because I've borne him 3 sons. What I find very interesting is that these 3 sons in particular, they bear the story of their mother's struggle and broken heart, and they are so identified for the entirety of their lives. She then has a 4th son, probably the most popular of all the sons, most well known, Yehuda, to praise. His name is taken from the root yada, which means to raise both hands and to give the Father praise. Maybe for a moment at least, she is turning from the struggle of trying to be attached to her husband, and she's seeking to elevate her heart and to be attached to her Creator. It's a heartbreaking saga. In chapter 30, we find another broken-hearted woman. This time it's Rachel. And she is filled with envy that she herself is barren. In the Middle East, of that culture and that time, oftentimes a man would have multiple wives, 1 or more for childbearing, and then his primary bride for beauty. He did not want this particular bride to become pregnant lest her body be marred through the process of pregnancy. So we would call her a trophy wife today. Rachel did not want to be a trophy wife. She wanted to be fruit-bearing. And she comes to Yaakov and says, if you don't give me a child, I'm going to die. This is, in my opinion, a picture of those who have become misguided and misunderstanding about their role that they play. She was looking to Yaakov for her fulfillment and for her completion. Again, it was based on envy. This is often like those who feel like, if I come into the Hebraic roots community, if I began to look again to the Torah, if I'm employing this, it's going to make me fulfilled. Look, you can keep Shabbat and do so on Shabbat. You can observe the feast days. You can change your diet. You can put tzitziot on your garments. You can give yourself a Hebraic name. You can buy a Hebrew calendar. The list will go on with your talits and your shofars. That's not going to give you fulfillment unless you are vitally attached to Yeshua. Otherwise, we've just adopted cultural items and focuses. Yes, they're important and they're attached to the Torah, and the Torah reveals them to us. But I'll go this far. I'll tell you that if you are studying the Torah and you're not finding Messiah, you're missing the point. The whole reason that we're doing this is to see Yeshua, our Messiah, more fully and completely revealed to us. Other than any other purpose other than that, we're misguided and we're misunderstanding why we're doing what we're doing. Let's go on. So she begins to take a play out of Sarah's playbook. It's obvious that the Father is withholding my womb from conceiving, so I'll give to you my servant maid, Bilhah, and you can bear children for me through her, which she does. She has 2 children, Dan, which means judgment, and Naphtali, which is wrestlings. And again, now she's adopting Leah's naming process, using names to identify her personal struggles. Children being named about mama's issues. Bilhah's name means troubled. This is not good. He's not relationally for Yaakov. Leah says, my womb is dried up, so I'll give you Zilpah, my maid. Her name means trickling. I've often wondered, does that mean like a trifling thing, a trickling stream that just never ceases to be quiet? It's two more children, Gad, a troop, and Asher, and whose name means happy. There's a lot of kids running around. Yaakov came to Laban to find one bride. He was only looking for one. Now he's got 4. These women are diverse. They're complex. They're demanding of him. They're competitive for him and for his time and attention. The two women, the two primary sisters, Rachel and Leah, are battling back and forth. This is the building of a nation called Am Israel. As a people, we are complex, we are dysfunctional, we are competitive and contentious, and all striving for a place of significance. It happened then, it's happening now. If you are Jewish, you have your side defined. You're the house of Yehuda. If you're not, you may be of the lost 10 tribes of Israel, either by some sense of lineage, if you've been able to research your genealogy and find that. Not common, but it can be done, I suppose. But at least through the adoption of Yeshua, bringing us into the family, he said, I did not come but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He came to find us. We are the house of Israel, the house of Yoseph. Two sides battling one against the other for a significant place at the table. Yeshua said, when you go to the table, don't take the chief place. Go to the lowest seat and then allow the master of the feast to bring you up to the place of significance where you belong. If you take a place higher than you're supposed to have, you may be asked to get up and move down to allow the right person to take that spot. Don't embarrass yourself. Walk in humility. Walk in servant-heartedness. Defeat your pride. Humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of Elohim, and he will exalt you in due season, the word says. Let us hear that. Let us understand that our strivings are not necessary, for when we all sit at the Father's table, regardless of who these sons look like, these mothers, very likely the servant women were of a different ethnicity, culture, skin tone, etc. The sons didn't all look alike. They didn't all sound alike, but they all had one father. Different mothers, but one father. And when they sat at his table, they were all the sons of Yaakov. We come from a variety of places and life experiences, a lot of different cultures and languages, but we are attached to one another and we are family, regardless of who our mother is, our cultural national identities, our race, our skin tones, our language. We all belong to one Father. And when we belong to the Father, we are attached to the one that the Father is ichad, or one with, Yeshua, our Messiah. The most important thing is not who our mother is, but who our father is. Yaakov then sees Rachel become pregnant with Yoseph. Everything changes. He's been laboring for 14 years watching a man's sheep, and he doesn't have one to count as his own. He has 4 wives and too many children, it would seem. He doesn't have the ability to leave. He can't go home to where Esau is at. He can't stay where he's at with Laban. He is in a quandary. He has no good options until Yoseph is born. And we find in Obadiah chapter 1, verse 18, and I finish with this. The house of Yaakov shall be a fire, and the house of Yoseph a flame, but the house of Esau for stubble. The answer to Esau has arrived. It's Yoseph. Everything changes with Yoseph, More about that tomorrow. Until then, shalom.